Power Slam. Turn it up. It's the Pancake and Power Slam show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? We are here. We are live. It is the Pancakes and Power Slam show. What's going on, everybody? Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. Let's have some fun, as we always do, man. It's time for Roman Reigns to retire. And I'm going to talk about that. Okay? I'm going to talk about it. I am going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. I always find it interesting it's always fun. It's always fun when you try to set up everything and it just goes in a way that it's interesting. All right. Come on in, y'all. Fun show tonight. I'm going to talk about how Roman Reigns should retire. Should retire. Roman Reigns should retire. Roman Reigns should retire. Retire. Roman Reigns should retire. Roman Reigns should retire. 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 Come on in. All right. Man. Ugh, man. All right. Let's talk about Roman Reigns retiring. That's what he should do. All right. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. So come on in as we have fun as we do every single week on the Pancakes and Power Slam show. Getting connectivity issues. Yeah, man. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. It's always fun to go into a studio with setting everything up and IT saying, nah, I think I can do that for you. But let's get right into it, y'all. Let's get right into it. I'm going to talk about Roman Reigns needing to retire. I'm going to discuss 5 reasons why Roman Reigns should retire. So don't have a PowerPoint today. Don't have a presentation. I was just thinking about something. I was going to put this into a PowerPoint. I was like, you know what? Now I'm just going to shoot from the hip, ladies and gentlemen, today. I'm just going to share my thoughts on just pro wrestling, period, and just where we're at and how I can respect a couple of things that I can respect a couple things that I'm noticing. But I talked about that last week too. And again, like the I like the new wave. Something just got in my throat. Here we go. Good water. I like the new wave of talent that pro wrestling is showing. I talk about this on my Patreon a lot. At this point in my pro wrestling tenure, 40 years in, I'm at the point as a pro wrestling watcher, a pro wrestling anything affiliate, anything to the sword. And I see there's a super chat. Thank you very much. I'll get to it. I'm at the point where now I am looking at socials. Now I'm looking at different parts of pro wrestling right now, and I'm looking at it from a standpoint of what is going to bring me back in. That's where I'm at. Okay, I can't think of anything that'll bring me back in, but my philosophy is what at least is going to bring me back in to give me some type of interest for a moment. All right. I see this new wave. I saw the clip of Javon Evans doing the cutter, which I thought, again, man, these athletes in pro wrestling, that's par for the course. That's something that is to be expected. Javon Evans, the bouncy thing, I've got my thoughts on that. But what I do appreciate tremendously is the talent and the athleticism that we saw and that we see just with so many other pro wrestling talent. Here's where the Roman Reigns retiring thing comes in. What is clear about what we see right now is that it's a showcase of acrobatic athleticism. That's where we're at right now. It feels like, again, man, it has that circus feel. It feels so much in a way that we're just looking at just exhibits, and we're looking at fun new exhibits in a weekly circus show. I mean, it's like, come on in, bring the tent. And there's a Cardiff giant. I think the more I talk about this, and I've been talking about this for a few weeks, this tent thing, the circus thing, and I'm gonna talk about the story behind the Barnum effect soon. When it comes to that concept, there's a sucker born every minute. That whole concept when it comes to P.T. Barnum, who actually, it's a Mandela effect. He's actually not attributed to. Many people attribute P.T. Barnum to saying that, but he actually didn't say that. I'll break that down in another class. But when it comes to some thoughts that I was thinking, I said, you know what? I think it's time. I think it's time with this new wave that we see when it comes to the talent. I think it's time for Roman Reigns to retire. I have 5 reasons why I think Roman Reigns should retire, and I think the reasons are very I think it's convincing. I think it's very I think it makes sense of it. I think it's very logical. I think these reasons are reasons that it just makes sense. It just makes sense from a career transition standpoint. I'm actually also going to pull up an article about just when it comes to career transition. I think that's where we're at right now with Roman Reigns. So let's get right into the first one. So the number one reason, and this isn't like number one order, I'm just going to go on from 1 to 5. So first, let's start off with a reason why Roman Reigns should retire is that Roman Reigns adds little to the current wave of talent. And so that's what I was just talking about. When it comes to Roman Reigns, what feuds are left? What feuds are left? I mean, that's one of the, based on the booking and not based on Roman Reigns' talent. Because I'll get to just my take on Roman Reigns at the end of this. But when it comes to Roman Reigns' booking and how they've been booking him for a long time now, what's left in the booking for Roman Reigns to make it not seem like just spot moments? That's where we're at right now. We're at just spot moments with Roman Reigns. over and over and over again, every single week. We're at spot moments with Roman Reigns. We had him won the Royal Rumble for the sake of uh we had him win the Royal Rumble for the sake of going against CM Punk because we wanted to book something that made sense, that had two people with star power, that had a big name with them. Okay, that's basically where we're at now when it comes to the booking with Roman Reigns. Okay. So I've said this over and time, and I will continue to repeat this. It doesn't make much sense to me whatsoever for someone to win the Royal Rumble when they literally can cut a promo on a random Raw and be in a world championship match. Doesn't make sense to me. I've said that before. I stand by it. I'm going to stick with it. Now, when it comes to a storyline, like when Austin won the Royal Rumble when he was feuding with McMahon, made perfect sense. The odds were against him. Vince McMahon was doing everything that he possibly can to be sure that Steve Austin does not get back into the title picture. He did everything that he possibly can to make sure that he was not there. So what he did, he defied the odds. He won the Royal Rumble. He actually did it 3 times. The first time was more up and coming. And I think when it comes to that, that makes sense. If someone who's a main event babyface or heel, typically babyface, wins the Royal Rumble, make it a story. Make it make sense from a storyline perspective. If he wins the Royal Rumble, perhaps he was suspended. Perhaps he was banned. Perhaps he was taken out because he had to lose him. He lost a match and he was double teamed or triple teamed, or he was gang attacked or something like that. So he comes back to the Royal Rumble and he defies the odds. He has the 30 spot. It's a surprise comeback. He wins the Royal Rumble. He gets the opportunity to, despite everything that everybody tried to do, his nemesis tried to do to be sure that he didn't get the spot. He won the Royal Rumble. Now he has the spot again. Okay, that makes sense from a storyline perspective. But storyline, just for storyline's sake, I mean, just winning for winning's sake, booking, and I don't even know what this even says right here for sure. But it doesn't make sense for that perspective to be, for that type of booking to just to say I'm going to spot book this for this main eventer to win the Royal Rumble. So when it comes to current talent from a storyline perspective, okay, now we just have weirdos in here. It's like here's the thing, man. It's 11:40 at night, and then we have a weirdo in the chat. You know, on PNP, we definitely don't do that for sure. But here's the funny thing about this, and you know how I am. I don't go too much into this, but you have someone who is 20 minutes to 12, and I have Patreons, and this is my show, and then someone who is an absolute weirdo of a person, whoever you are, now you got an avatar and a weird name. So what you do is you come on my show and you go and you make stupid comments like that. I mean, and here's the thing, man. You don't even deserve to have anything to do with my show. So I'm gonna remove you. But I will get to the super chat here in just a moment. And here's the thing, man, and that goes, and all of my shows talks about that. I've talked about that so much time in so many of my shows, as far as just the psychology of a lot of these pro wrestling fans. And this person is clearly a subscriber of my channel, and then is a child in an adult's body. So it happens. So when it comes to different feuds, right now with the new wave, I don't want to see any spot shows. I don't want to see any type of spot feuds. Don't give me Roman Reigns versus Obafemi. Now, in the current wave of pro wrestling talent, and the current wave of pro wrestling booking with this type of hot shot type of mentality, a lot of these pro wrestling fans, they're just happy to see that match. They're just happy to see, oh, okay, they're going to cook. We're going to get Roman Reigns versus Obafemi. So they do that type of face off, low just interest, low storyline, nothing dealing with any type of storyline perspective. You just want to see these two men facing off from each other and having a conversation and having a match with each other that's just going to be forgettable. You're going to remember it for a weekend, and then all of a sudden it's not going to go into the folklore, into the annals of history of being an amazing match. Stuff like that does not help with building stars. Give them storylines. Give them storylines. And so when you're thinking about Roman Reigns currently, having him win the Royal Rumble to compete against CM Punk, it's like, man, you could have saved that for somebody else. You could have saved that for a new wave of talent. You could have had Obafemi win the daggone Royal Rumble. And I said that on my Patreon last week. Roman Reigns didn't have to. Obafemi versus Drew McIntyre, for sure. Absolutely. And here's the thing. And again, thank you for your support very, very much. And people, I'm not even 10 minutes in, and it's all going to make sense. It's all going to make sense, but you got to be patient. You got to be patient, man. But here's the thing. When it comes to, and I appreciate your support, by the way. And here's the thing. When it comes to this types of booking with things, the new pro wrestling wave, the new pro wrestling fans, the reason why these fans are coming down is because of, one, the culture, and then two, there's no buy-in anymore, man. There's absolute no buy-in when it comes to these decisions when it comes to WWE. And the very fact that you're having someone like Roman Reigns there, give him interesting feuds, however, make it make sense. We saw this with the Unreal a lot. You have this board and you're just having these arguments about who to put against who, and then it just goes haywire. We see the reflection of that on television. Which brings me to number 2. Part-time booking doesn't help his status. WWE is trying to book Roman Reigns like Brock Lesnar. And it does, but it doesn't work. Now, there was a time where Roman Reigns, for sure. Oh, no, it's all right. It's all right now. No worries, man. No worries at all. No worries. Here's the thing when it comes to the Roman Reigns stuff. He's being booked like Brock Lesnar at this point. All right. Why are you booking Roman Reigns like Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is still being booked like Brock Lesnar? You can't. It messes up the anomaly of the surprise return or the spot return if you're having more than one people do it. Brock Lesnar's still there, so he makes his spot comebacks. Brock Lesnar has been doing that for years. He leaves for several months or even a year before he made a return, and then he comes back. He makes his spot returns. But if you're doing that with Brock Lesnar and you're doing that with Roman Reigns, it makes Roman Reigns being booked like Brock Lesnar. And now what I'm starting to see in the socials is that people are starting to turn from Roman Reigns because of the way that he's being booked, these spot appearances. And again, the old formula still works. The old formula still works, man. You can't sit here and have these spot moments, these spot fests when it comes to Roman Reigns and expect people to continue to give him the same pop, the return pop. The return pop's getting old, man. And that's how so many people feel when it comes to that return pop. I see it on the socials. And here's the thing, I know how the IWC is. The IWC is going to IWC. And then what happens is I see this on the IWC. I tell the IWC what the IWC says, and the IWC says, "Oh man, what are you doing with this opinion, man? You don't know nothing about Roman Reigns." So I understand it. There was a time that I was contracted to involve myself with the IWC, which was, horrible. But at the same time, I made good money doing it. But I understand. I psychologically understand what the IWC is. I've had several classes about that here on the show. But let's be real here. Let's be honest when it comes to the way that they're booking Roman Reigns with this spot return stuff. You already have someone who's doing spot returns. So it's not making Roman Reigns returns look big if you're now having Brock Lesnar back and he's making the same type of returns. And he's gone for a while. He gets injured. He gets storyline injured. He goes away. Then he makes his return. And again, I'm going to give you my personal take on how I feel about Roman Reigns toward the end. But when it does, but here's the thing. When it comes to these spot feuds, man, these spot appearances, stuff like that starts to form what's called habituation. So what happens is it's a conditioning. It's a form of conditioning. So you have extinction and you have habituation. When you get reinforced and the reinforcement's gone, then there's an extinction burst. And then, after reinforcement, the extinction goes away. But there's also a reinforcement strategy called habituation. And what happens with habituation is you start to see the same type of reinforcement over and over again, and it no longer has that ability. There's your psychology analysis there. It definitely gets to a point where habituation happens with these returns. Again, man, this is the mind. No one's mind is different than the others. There's no new case of minds. I teach psychology. There's minds are minds when it comes to so many different psychological concepts. Habituation is no different from the IWC than it is from anybody else. Habituation is no different from a pro wrestling fan as it is with anybody else. Habituation is once you continue to have a reinforcement strategy, then one gets to the point where they get used to it and it doesn't have any power anymore. Case in point, say if I was living by a railroad, all right, and I had a house by a railroad, and if the house was good, the deal was good, but at the same time, I wasn't necessarily aware so much of the railroad being so active in the evenings. All right. So for the first, say, 2 weeks, I get to the point where I'm just irritated and I'm frustrated because I keep hearing alerts, and I keep hearing the train tracks, and I keep hearing the horns, and I keep hearing all the sounds that come with train tracks. Eventually, though, after 2 weeks of the same type of repetitiveness, and this goes in just with the overall scope of pro wrestling, period. But eventually, after 2 weeks, it starts to just blend in. The noise starts to blend in. And I don't feel that impact of the railroad track anymore. That's what habituation is. These return pops, that's habituation. People starts to, these Roman Reigns returns, that's habituation. It got to the point where after the first time pop, second time pop, third time pop-ish, fourth time is like, okay, cool, we're glad you're back. But at the same time, okay, now we're, no mas. We're good on the return pops now. And so we're starting to see a form of habituation when it comes to Roman Reigns. So this part-time booking, this Brock style booking doesn't help his overall status. Put him in a storyline, which leads me to number 3. The booking feels forced. with Roman Reigns. It feels forced. You're bringing him out and you're bringing him in for the bloodline to team up against Jay. You're bringing him out and you're bringing him in when it comes to Bronson Reed and the shoe thing, which eventually did nothing for Bronson Reed. You're bringing him out and bringing him in to win the Royal Rumble. So this type of booking feels forced, and it's been feeling forced for a long time. And the bloodline worked, man. The bloodline worked. You had somebody who was the face of the WWE, who was a baby face for so long. And again, when it gets to the point of super chats, really good comments so far. Hit up the super chats and I'll go ahead and answer your questions. When it comes to the point of this return stuff, again, it feels forced. You're bringing them out, bringing them in, bringing them out, bringing them in. That doesn't help Roman Reigns as an entity. That doesn't help his stock. Nothing to do with Roman Reigns, but it has to do with the booking. So when you're bringing them in for these spot moments and the book, it just feels forced. Now you're bringing them in the Royal Rumble. Now there's a bunch of backlash that people didn't like it because they feel like there's a new era that Triple H was saying. And now the IWC is upset because Triple H is saying a new era, but someone from the new era didn't win the Royal Rumble. And I must say that the IWC's got a point there. That's for sure. That's for sure. IWC's got a point. Because it's like someone from the new era didn't win the Royal Rumble. Austin at that time was established, but at the same time he was new era when it comes to, a wave of WWE talent. At that point, he was in his early 30s. Austin was, I think, probably like 33 or so, 34, around 33 or so. So he was still in his early 30s when he went into the 98 Rumble. Yeah, I think he was like 33. So, young cat. Still a young cat, 33 years old, that's the wave of talent at the time. Of course, WCW, he was well established at that time when it comes to WCW, but he was still a mid-card guy. He was, when he was in the WCW, he was, television champion, US champion, Hollywood Blondes, tag team champion. But that all just kind of peaked in the mid-card. Dangerous Alliance, all those things were mid-card things. He was a very, very staple mid-card guy. Wasn't a main eventer, though. When he came to WWE in his early 30s, that's when he became and even then, I had a conversation last week. Those were the people, again, I showed Shawn Michaels, Batista, and Steve Austin. And those were the people who were the Intercontinental in the mid-card 25 years ago, 30 years ago, actually. Those were the people. Batista 20 years ago. Austin and Michaels were in the mid to late 90s. They were the people in the mid card. And Austin ended up being the main eventer toward the late 90s, 98 and on. But again, that person, even when he was established, he had to work his way up. And Austin at that time was still in his 30s, though. He was still in his 30s. And it's interesting because you had so many of those new waves. Michaels was a part of the new waves as far as ascending to the main event. He won the Royal Rumble. Austin was a part of the new wave as far as ascending to the main event. He won the Royal Rumble. Orton, you have all these Edge, you have all these people who were getting to the point of either ascending or being a staple main event player who won the Royal Rumble to really solidify their ability or to solidify their stake in the main event scene. Brock Lesnar did the same thing. Won the title and ended up won the Royal Rumble after that. Staple part of main event. And so you have all these names, and again, make the Royal Rumble make sense storyline wise. Triple H won the Royal Rumble in 2002. because he was gone for upwards close to a year. So that just made sense. Got to make it make sense instead of these spot moments, man. When it feels forced, the fans feel it. The fans feel when it feels forced. Now, Reigns versus Punk, absolutely marquee. Royal WrestleMania. You want to make it about marquee. Totally understand. Totally understand. However, with that though, you can make Obafemi has it. Obafemi has star power. He has the look. Absolutely passes the airport test, especially if he was doing that ruler march, the ruler march. If he was doing that in the airport, I'm sure that he would look interesting. He would look intimidating. He would pass the airport test, and he would cause people to be intrigued to start doing the airport with him. So Femi has it. Obafemi has it. I would have had zero issue at all with Obafemi winning the Royal Rumble because he has star power. You did the same thing with Lesnar. Brock Lesnar debuted after Royal Rumble. I mean, was the Raw after WrestleMania back in 2002. 4 months later, he won the World Championship. Beat The Rock. 4 months. So, I mean, you have people who you really, if you want to strap the rockets on these people, do it. Especially if you're in a new era. Strap the rockets on them, man. I talked about that more on my Patreon yesterday as far as people who, last week as far as people they should strap the rockets on, man. Obafemi's one of them. And don't have Oba plow through Roman Reigns because, again, man, if you're just using these people and using these names for the sake of just putting on these spot matches, that doesn't mean much, man. Stuff like that is forgettable. Stuff like that from a psychological standpoint does not retain. It does not retain. From a longevity standpoint, doesn't retain. Because, again, if you keep putting these spot matches together, habituation happens. Period. It happens. Habituation happens. If you keep putting on these matches, then we get habituation. But if you keep giving us stories that we can sink our teeth into, like we did with the Bloodline, then that's the type of stuff that's going to be memorable. Good comments, by the way. Those are the type of stuff that's going to be memorable. You gave us that with the Bloodline. I like the Bloodline storyline. I thought it was interesting. Do I think it went too long? Do I think it went to the fact that it went to the point of being stale? Yes, I do. I think it went to the point of being stale. However, I do think that for a sizable amount of the Bloodline storyline, it was good, man. It got me intrigued. For sure, it got me intrigued. So you got to give a story, man. Now we're just relating on promos and doing all these things. Like we're laying too much on promos. All this promo stuff that we're doing, like, again, man, and again, my absorption of pro wrestling is social media now. It's only social media. So I can only go from the tweets and retweets. It's in the algorithms. I was a pundit for several years and got paid to do it, period. And every single day I had to watch wrestling and it was in my algorithm. So it's still in my algorithms. So I hop on Twitter and boom, that's what I see. I see pro wrestling. I see current events, and I see college football. That's what's in my algorithms when it comes to, and I see faith stuff. That's my algorithms when it comes to Twitter. So I see what comes up in the algorithm. I see what's trending. And what's trending is like the Roman Reigns and CM Punk promo, for instance. Yes, that's cool. But at the same point, it really narrows the market. It really narrows the interest because you can't depend or you can't bank on a casual fan who's all about the saga and the episodic feel of pro wrestling to camp on Twitter with no algorithms that is going to pop up with pro wrestling because they don't look at pro wrestling. So it's not going to come up in the algorithms. So who's going to know about this promo? Who's going to know about this march? Who's going to know about this person coming? Who's a casual fan who comes on social media? That's not going to come up on their algorithms. So it's not, they don't know about that stuff. But what is interesting though is episodic television. That's going to keep my eyes glued on the television and what's coming on the following week versus finding out and living on Twitter just to feel like you belong, basically. And that's basically what so many of the pro wrestling community is now. They just camp on social media, and they troll, and there's group polarization, which I don't think I've ever talked about that. Maybe I'll talk about group polarization on a class. I talked about de-individualization and depersonalization, and I talked about anonymity. All those factors apply when it comes to social media. But group polarization, I don't know if I've talked about that before. I think that'll be a good class. But you have all those things when it comes to pro wrestling. That's where we're at right now. It's just that. It's not much of, okay, let's bring in some casual fans because there's an interesting story that people want to sink their teeth into. Nope, it's not much of that. It's just, let's have this type of showcase, type of bout and a type of night. It just feels like a showcasey night. That's basically what it feels like every single time. Nothing from a standpoint of relevance when it comes to storylines to bring people in that are from outside, instead of relying on someone to camp on Twitter whose wrestling doesn't come up on their algorithms on Twitter. And that's where we're at with Roman Reigns when it comes to this forced booking. Again, the bloodline thing worked. The bloodline thing was interesting. But now what do we have? We have Roman Reigns, 3 years later or 2 years later, from a standpoint of just winning a Royal Rumble and getting upset with CM Punk. Now, I saw the promo. The promo was good. The promo had a lot of passion in it. It's one of Roman Reigns' best promos. But from a standpoint of making it make sense from a storyline perspective, you have Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble and picking CM Punk because he felt slighted because CM Punk several months ago held the belt above or behind him as he was shaking or as they were walking away. Again, man, it's okay. You got it. Yep, you got it. You got it. And yeah, at this point, you're just making it make sense in order to have that type of marquee. Now, you've already got the marquee match. The match is marquee. It's fine. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, two big names. Definitely the marquee that you want. But give me a story, man. The story that we have is because I felt slighted when you held the belt over me. That's the story that we have in this main event match. That feels forced. It feels forced. And all these daggone loose ends. As far as I remember, Bronson Reed and Roman Reigns should still be a thing. Wasn't that still a thing? Wasn't that supposed to be still a thing? And so, again, you're bringing in this. There's so many loose ends. And again, you can see it from Unreal. You're just throwing stuff on the board and hoping that it sticks and not having an end game. They're arguing in the office about an end game. And guess what? Once again, you see it on television. When you're having these meetings and you're like, okay, let's have Roman Reigns win. Okay, who's he going to go against? Let's just do CM Punk. Okay, what's the story? You remember that time, back a few months ago in Survivor Series when CM Punk held the belt up? Yeah, let's do something with that. Roman Reigns is upset. He feels slighted. Oh, okay. That's the story going into the biggest match of the year, which is the main event of Royal Rumble, main event of WrestleMania. You literally could just cut a promo and say, "Okay, I was mad at you did that. Let's duke it out. Let's beef." I didn't have to win the Royal Rumble to tell you that I had an issue with you doing that. I could have just cut a promo on Raw. I didn't have to win the Royal Rumble to tell you that in a promo. Again, stuff like this. If I was booking, and I talk a lot about this on my Patreon, and so many people are like, "Man, you should book for the WWE." I just think about things psychologically, man. If it logically doesn't make sense as you talk it out, it's not going to logically make sense to a casual audience, to the masses, not the IWC. The IWC in mass, lots of them, not all, but most of them, or at least lots of them, it's not a really strong long game. It's just match. The formula for WWE caters right into the IWC. Because it's like, oh, we got this match. Oh, we got this match. Oh, we got this match. Oh, it's time to cook. Oh, it's time to cook. Oh, it's time to cook. Oh, we got this match. And you keep booking like that, you're pigeonholing yourself to the IWC. And the IWC is the same entity that you complain about. Triple H. But for some odd reason, you're booking to cater to them, but you complain about them. One thing or the other here. Don't cater to the IWC if you can complain, or if you're going to complain about them. But cater to the casuals. Bring people in who doesn't know nothing about social media WWE. Or if anything, a WWE clip on YouTube. Nothing to do with social media. Nothing to do with Facebook or X or Instagram or whatever. Like you have to think, a casual fan doesn't sit there and spend their time focusing on anything social media when it comes to pro wrestling, unless there's a celebrity involved from outsiders doing some type of crossover or something like that. That's really it. But as far as Roman Reigns and CM Punk, nope, they're not. Which leads me to number 4. And this is going more into my personal thoughts on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns has already built a Hall of Fame resume. Again, it goes back to number 1. There's little more that he could do with this current wave of talent. There's really little, very, very little of what he can do with this current wave of talent that would make it make sense for his stock not to go down. Now, one thing you don't want to do is use him as fodder to push somebody. That would be a horrible thing to do. I remember Shawn Michaels having an interview when they were teasing him and AJ Styles to come to have a match at the Royal Rumble. And he just said no, which, again, man, I give major kudos to people who say no to stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, only you can protect your stock in a business. You have control over that. Either you let somebody control that, or you become a prisoner of the moment so much that you say yes, or you just say no, man. You think it through. You say, okay, cool. Either this is going to help my stock or it's going to hurt my stock from a career and legacy perspective overall. Now, Shawn Michaels did make a blurb by coming back for Saudi. I'm sure the money was too good. He was like, man, screw it. I'm bald right now. My hair's thinning. I'm doing a reset, doing bald. That money's so good, man. They're going to see bald-headed Shawn Michaels, which you want to talk you want to talk about a Men in Black moment. There you go, for sure. And again, I see people asking questions. Go ahead and hit that super chat. I'll go ahead and address it on the screen. So, yeah, I think at this point, he needs to get to a point. He's already built a Hall of Fame resume, man. There's really nothing else or very little else that Roman Reigns could do. Now, when it comes to being in a feud, a story, a good story. Now, could it be possible for Roman Reigns to be in a good story with one of these new waves of talent? Sure. Why not? But make it make sense, though. Give us something to really sink our teeth into. Make it something that's long and not just go from PLE to PLE and then something happens and again we man in black that thing and just say, oh no, we don't remember that. We're just gonna let it go. We're just gonna let it pass. Oh yeah, we're not gonna go back to that. We're not gonna run that back. We're not gonna tie that. We're not gonna tie up that loose end. No, I'm not gonna do none of that. We've seen way too much of that. Even John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. Nothing to show for that. Nothing. John Cena's retired. Brock Lesnar's still a part-timer. Brock Lesnar obliterated John Cena on his way out. Still nothing to show for it. Nothing. There was no type of payoff for the babyface. I mean, traditional, tried and true storytelling 101. There's always a payoff for the babyface. Was it this time? No. And this was the last time that he was going to wrestle against Brock Lesnar. No payoff. So with that type of formula, it's not going to work for Roman Reigns if they do the same thing with Roman Reigns. And if they do it with John Cena, they're going to do it with Roman Reigns. There's not going to be any type of payoff when it comes to just having people beat Roman Reigns. Especially if it's not for a story. Now, if it is for a story, perhaps. But the story has to be so riveting and so interesting that you get to the point where, oh, there is buy-in here. There is a story. Roman Reigns has already built this Hall of Fame resume. So similar to Shawn Michaels, there's going to be times, and I don't blame him, that you have the ability to say no at this moment. You have the ability to say no, which leads me to number 5. Roman Reigns is bigger than the business. And that's how I really feel about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is bigger than the business. Roman Reigns has been my favorite wrestler in the WWE for a long time now. And the more that I see Roman Reigns as where he is now from a 2026 perspective, he's bigger than the business, man. And when I see Roman Reigns having these spot returns, these spot comebacks, these spot feuds that, I mean, wasn't he beefing with the Usos? Like, again, you're having all these moments with nothing to show for it. He was beefing with Braun. He was beefing with the Vision. He was beefing with the Usos. There was some dissension there. All of that for nothing. No type of loose end tied at all. So you have to think everything now is just, how is it helping in his career? Now he's at the point that he's built his legacy. Now everything henceforth is building more bricks on his legacy. So every single part of his career henceforth is either going to build a brick or it's going to take a brick away. Is a WrestleMania match with CM Punk building a brick to his legacy? He's already built it. He already has a Hall of Fame resume. He's bigger than the business. At this point, Roman Reigns should start acting. He should start acting. He's at the point right now. He's multi-time champion. I think I saw a stat. This is 10th WrestleMania. Is, blowing the record out the water. Hogan main event in a lot of WrestleManias. Michaels was on. Triple H was another. But Roman Reigns, he's like the WrestleMania main event guy at this point. And he's been like that, man. 10 WrestleManias or somewhere close to it. Come on, man. He's built his legacy. It's Hogan built his legacy main event in a handful or less of them. Roman Reigns has main evented almost a couple dozen WrestleManias. He's built his legacy, man. He beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's won world championships at WrestleMania. He's had major matches, feuds, main events, entrances. 11th WrestleMania main event, a comment says. What? Like stuff like that. Okay. Yep. You got it. You got it, big dog. You've built your legacy. You've built your career. I'm in support of it. Personally, I wasn't mad at Roman Reigns winning WrestleMania because of, I'm a fan of Roman Reigns. But to me, just business wise, nah. Personally, yes. Business wise, nah. Like to me, I just think that with this new wave, this new era, it wasn't necessary for Roman Reigns to win. He wasn't coming back at someone. It wasn't like odds against him. Like that's when someone's a main event talent and there's odds against them. If there's some type of feud that's going on where there's odds against them, yes. You could have easily had Bronson Reed. Again, if this was booked far in advance, you could have easily had Paul Heyman somehow get into Adam Pearce's ear and say, you know what, hey, this is, and vandalize his car. Like you could have had anything happen. You could have had someone vandalize Adam Pearce's car. You could have had some type of doctored footage that it was Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns was upset that the Vision attacked him and Adam Pearce didn't suspend him. Doctored footage that Roman Reigns vandalized Adam Pearce's car. Paul Heyman says, what are you going to do about that? You see that? This is your car. You're going to have somebody, you're going to represent Raw and have somebody do this to your car? Is this the type of leader that we want on Monday nights? You could have easily had something like that. You could have partially or temporarily manipulated and coerced Adam Pearce to make a knee-jerk decision of, yes, Roman Reigns, you're suspended. Roman Reigns says, I didn't do it. I have proof. There's another set of video. Adam Pearce doesn't know what to believe. AI is just all over the place right now. You've got doctored video. You've got real video. I don't know what the heck to believe. Okay, Roman Reigns, you've got one shot to win the Royal Rumble. And if you do win the Royal Rumble, you're going to main event WrestleMania. So at that point, you got people saying, okay, Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble because it just makes sense. But you also have people who's going to say, but what if? So there's a chance. But what if? And that's the people you cater to. You cater to the people who say, but what if? And that's when you do the red herrings of returns or Jericho or make some just random break the walls down or something like that. That's going to deter people from the obvious of Roman Reigns winning. And you also do this, like I was talking about the olfactory reset, you also have moments in the Royal Rumble where people have surprise returns, because the more you're having those kind of zap and stimulus building moments within the Royal Rumble, the more it's going to take someone's attention away from Roman Reigns from the very beginning, from this whole story. You saw the whole thing. Roman Reigns is going to win the Royal Rumble because he's going to get his comeuppance against the Vision. But we've got all these distractors. We got all these red herrings by way of surprise teases and actually surprises working. And just give Roman Reigns that 30 spot. Simple as that, man. Give Roman Reigns the 30 spot. You don't know what numbers he's going to be. He gets the 30 spot. You've seen all the bells and whistles when it comes to the daggone Royal Rumble. We're excited. We have fun looking at all the surprises. There's 5 people left. Roman Reigns comes in at 30. Roman Reigns, boom, 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 boom. And he eliminates them at 30. So it's not some long, drawn out number 1, number 2 spot, all of this. Nope. We've been so distracted by everything else in the Royal Rumble that, oh, yeah, that's right. Roman Reigns is probably going to win the Royal Rumble. That was successful because now we're distracted. Just have him come in. He coming in 30. Boom, 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 boom. That's it. He won. He won the Royal Rumble. Now I'm back into the title scene. Now that makes sense. But nope. That's not what you did. That's not what you did. You just had him to win the Royal Rumble just because. Just because. Yeah, that's it. And here's the thing. Even if you still have Roman Reigns versus CM Punk, here's the thing. Both of them can have beef with the Vision. That's the thing. You have CM Punk having beef with the Vision. You have Roman Reigns having beef with the Vision. And now they're in cohesion. But at the same time, there's still that thought that Roman Reigns, okay, yeah, I'll team with you from a distance. I'll team with you at arm's length. We ain't cool. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Basically, that's where we're at right now. Could have easily had a tag team match, Roman Reigns and CM Punk against the Vision at Elimination Chamber. It's continuing the story. It's CM Punk. You led the year with CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. You had this story on a platter. CM Punk, Braun Breaker started off the year. CM Punk's feuding with the Vision. Roman Reigns has been feuding with the Vision. The Vision almost took Roman Reigns out from being even a part of WrestleMania. Roman Reigns wins WrestleMania after coming in as 30 and just boom, 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 taking them all out. Now, Roman Reigns and CM Punk, boom. Roman Reigns doesn't tell. There's no type of announcement at all. Roman Reigns doesn't say anything. And as soon as Roman Reigns beats the Vision, there's, again, Elimination Chamber, CM Punk, Roman Reigns, enemy of my enemy is my friend. And then easily you can get to a point where there's dissension within the match. You had an accidental bump with Roman Reigns. CM Punk hits Roman Reigns accidentally. They beat the Vision. And as soon as they celebrate, wham, Superman punch. There you go. That leads to Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at WrestleMania. Simple as that. And then the story there is we were never friends. We were never cool. We just had a common enemy. Now since that enemy's gone, since that bridge has been crossed, since that chapter's closed, I am once again refocused on claiming my throne as the tribal chief and becoming world champion. That's it. That's what you could have easily done, man. But again, these spot shows, man, these spot moments, these spot promos. No story, man. No story. I literally just came up with that from the top of my head. Nothing written down, just like that. Could have had all of that planned out, mapped out. It would have been interesting. But again, these spot shows, it don't work. So it just makes it like, if you're not going to spend the time, like really, if you're not going to spend the time with actually making a story with Roman Reigns that makes sense as far as him winning the Royal Rumble, he's bigger than the business, man. He's bigger than the business. Don't spend the time with just feeding him to people or putting him infused with this new wave just because the IWC is going to, have a hard on because of one. Like because of the match. Like, nah, man, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't cater to the IWC for the sake of just putting a match together. You do that every week and it leads to nothing. It leads to habituation, like I talked about before. Don't do that with Roman Reigns. He's way bigger than that. He's way bigger than the business when it comes to that. He's already built a Hall of Fame resume. There's really nothing else for Roman Reigns to do. Again, what he'll probably do is he'll just be thrown in matches. This is probably what's going to happen. Roman Reigns is not going to have a full-time schedule. It's going to be some type of spot match. Even if he wins the title again, they'll probably throw something again with the daggone bloodline or the MFTs or whatever. Then he's going to, have a moment, be champ for a little bit. He's going to lose the title somehow, and he's going to go away again and come back and get another return pop. Bigger than the business, man. Instead of having all these return pops, how about you just start an acting career and come back in like 4 or 5 years? Now at that point, it's like you're going to be featured in a way that's more you're a celebrity outside of the business. You're coming in from Hollywood now. So that gives you all types of interesting, things to work with if you come back several years from now. But these return pops, man, they're done, man. He's big. He's bigger than the business. He's far past return pops. Roman Reigns, at this point of his career, is far past return pops and a spot Royal Rumble win for just a marquee match with CM Punk at WrestleMania. He's far beyond that, man. So for those reasons, I believe that Roman Reigns should retire. Absolutely retire. He's bigger than the business, man. Roman Reigns has officially, in my opinion, reached the moment that he's bigger than the WWE. I think he's overstayed his welcome as far as popularity is concerned. I think that Roman Reigns to me feels like he's like that college person who's exceeded his credits a long time ago. But for some odd reason, he's being convinced by the faculty because they love him being there. The school faculty loves him being there. He exceeded his credits last year. He could have been graduated and moved on. But they love him so much that they're like, oh, man, how about, you got a few credits here left. You got an elective here. How about you got elected? So they just keep rearranging the curriculum for Roman Reigns to stay. That's basically where Roman Reigns is right now. They just keep rearranging man, we can't lose that Roman Reigns guy, man. We really like him. He really makes because he's so good at what he does, because he has such a celebrity flair to him, because he's so good at what he does, he's making us as a university look good overall. So we're going to just sit around and just rearrange the curriculum in order for him to stay a little longer. And so basically that's what the WWE is doing for him. They're just rearranging the curriculum. Nah, we don't want to let go of Roman Reigns. So therefore, we're just going to continue to rearrange the curriculum in order for him to stay. Nah, man, you missed this elective here. No. I mean, look at it right there. There's what you need to do. There's your list. There's your list of classes. There's your thing there. There's your graduation profile. Sorry, buddy. You got 2 more electives left. You look at your profile right there. You see it? You got 2 more electives. I got to take them. I mean, that's basically what they're doing with Roman Reigns. And now he's like, oh, really? Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just get in. I'm gonna ace this one too. Oh, I got one more elective. Man, this is kind of weird. Okay, sure, I'll take it. Oh, he's got an A in that one too. I figured. Eventually gonna be like, okay, man, the gig is up, and the jig is up, and yeah, okay, you graduated. Okay, you got it. Can you be a faculty member though? And it's just like that's basically where they are, where they're at with Roman Reigns, man. Dude is bigger than the business. He's bigger than WWE. It's time. It's time. It's time. He should go on, pursue a career as acting, and move on, man. That's basically where I'm at with now. All right. We got a super chat. I'm going to address it. We got Danimo. What's up, my man? What's up, my man? 199. Big shout out to the Black Scorpion. He's cooking. Yes. The Black Scorpion, man. How about that? Shout out to the Black Scorpion, man. I had a whole daggone show about him coming back, him returning, the Black Scorpion, man. He's been doing a lot of cameos, man. I've been so busy with projects and work and clients day and night, and being a dean at a college, so busy with life that I haven't even got a chance to talk to my boy, man. So I saw that he came back. Of course, did shoot him a text, and he sent me a response when it comes to Black Scorpion being a Black Scorpion, man. He's cooking. He's been under the hood quite a bit, man. The hooded claw. Remember the hooded claw back in the day? Remember the hooded claw? Wasn't that stop the pigeon? Stop the pigeon. 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 Stop the pigeon now. Wasn't he the hooded claw? Yes. Sylvester Sneakley, aka the Penelope Pitstop. That's what it is. The Perils of Penelope Pitstop. I remember that. I remember the Perils of Penelope Pitstop. The Hooded Claw, ladies and gentlemen. What a name! what a name! You gotta love the creativity and innovation of cartoons back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. Man, Penelope Pitstop was 1969, man. In 1969, someone came up with the idea. Well, before it became on television, someone said, let's name this guy Sylvester Sneakley, also known as the Hooded Claw. Stop the pigeon. Stop the pigeon was who was that? Stop the pigeon. Wasn't that what was that? What was that cartoon? What was that called? Stop the pigeon now. Yes. Dick Dastardly and Muttley Mutt. Yes. That was 1969 too. Stop the pigeon now. What was grab him, stab him? What was the lyrics? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Nap him, jab him, tap him, grab him, stop that pigeon now. Yes, man. Oh man, that just warmed my whole heart right there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's stop some pigeons tonight. Let's stop some pigeons tonight, man. Shout out to the awesome chat as always, man. See, I told y'all. See, it's funny, man. That's the reason why. Let me tell y'all something. let me tell y'all something about life and adulting. Because, we should already think about this as adults, period. I was doing couples therapy, actually, not too far from, actually, before my show. And I've been a therapist for a long time, and I love therapy. I love doing therapy, man. And one of the things I tell my clients oftentimes is, man, you just gotta weather it. I always say you gotta weather the moment. Weather the moment. It may not seem comfortable, it may not seem as you want it, but there's a better. It gets better on the other side. And you just gotta sit there and be an adult and just weather the moment. You got to take control of your emotions. Be patient and know that the moment's going to subside and pass. It was 18 degrees on Saturday here in Ohio. It was 54 degrees today. You want to talk about weathering the moment to enjoy what we had today. I mean, come on, man. That's the perfect example. That is a 36-degree turnaround in 2 days. Weather the moment. So when people spend the time so much with so many knee-jerk reactions, I talk about this within relationships, man. Calm down. Relax. You can't sit there and hear 3 words or 2 words or a concept of something, and it pie faces you if you sit there, because guess what happens? Cognitive dissonance happens, and you sit there and try to justify why you thought about something in order to resist being pie faced. But that's the thing. Let it breathe a little bit, understand the context, and at the end of weathering that angst that you're dealing with potentially disagreeing, hey, it might be something that you completely agree with. I'm looking at the comments, and it's clear that it started off with, whoa, you got outrageous opinions, to, oh, that actually makes sense. You gotta weather it, man. Read the whole article before you repost it and talk bad about it. Simple as that. All right? So if you disagree with it after my presentation, that's fine too. But it pie faces you as an adult if you make some type of knee-jerk assumption and consider that to be truth. That's called a straw man. Even before you hear the argument, you take it one way and then you comment on your interpretation of what I said. That's a straw man. You got to steel man my argument. That's different. That's understanding the totality of my argument from what I'm trying to say and what I did convey, and you take what I conveyed and you take what I conveyed properly and you interpret it properly, and then you have an opportunity to counterpoint, or disagree. Then that I am totally fine when someone steelmans my argument and comes with a counter or disagree. I welcome that. I have no issue with that. But when people troll and just makes just ridiculous, wild comments and assumptions and outrageous, ridiculous, pie-faced remarks, come on, man. I don't have any kids on the Pancakes and Power Slam show at midnight, approaching 1 a.m. at this point. No, I don't. Go to bed. Go to school tomorrow. If you want to be a kid. But if you're an adult, come on, rock with me, man. Rock with me. Have an opinion. Voice it. Rock with it. Roll with it. But be sure to steel man someone's argument. Otherwise, it humiliates you. It makes you look like a fool. It makes you look like you can't communicate well. So that's probably the reason why you don't have a girlfriend, ladies and gentlemen. But it can get better. It can get better. And let's take my advice, man. when it comes to being patient with what someone's saying. All right. I literally deal with this all the time. As a therapist, I imprint this into people when it comes to communication. Interpersonal communications, you got to steal, man. You got to give someone you respect the benefit of the doubt. If you don't respect them, then you won't give them the benefit of the doubt. If you don't respect me, I don't care about what you have to say. But if you do respect me and you have a disagreeing opinion, okay, that's fine. That's fine. No issues whatsoever. But if not, if you come in here and trolling, nah, man, I don't respect you. And if I don't respect you, I don't give you the time of day. I'm a really big fan of energy and time. Time is a big thing for me. I hate wasting time, and it wastes my time spending time to acknowledge or entertain trolls. That's the reason why there's a couple comments earlier today, earlier in the show, I gave them a minute of my time just to acknowledge, don't do that here. Other than that, if you want to be a case study, I'll use you for that. But other than that, nah, man, we don't do that here. So I was glad that people were able to, okay. Yeah, well, that makes sense. That makes sense. And if we have people who initially disagreed and now saying, oh, I agree. So that's basically where we're at right now. All right. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the long comment section that I see. I like it. It's great. So yeah. And for, again, every class, every presentation, every show, we can have a point. We get to a point where we have a good time. And if you want your comment on the comment section, shoot me a super chat. Appreciate all your support. Like, comment, share, subscribe. And, people are going to have their comments. If you agree, if you disagree, totally fine. But be sure to steal man my argument. Listen to the show and tell me points where you don't agree with. And it's all good, man. You have an opinion just like I do. Until next week, enjoy your week of wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. Shalom.